Hey viewers, welcome back. So in the last episode, I completely freaked out. But this episode, I picked my brain back up, and I'm gonna explore a little bit and talk a little bit before we get there. I wanted to write down my Manannan / Ranger theory because I think, I know the Ranger's gonna be up there, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be there now. I haven't checked, but in the trailer he's there.
What part of reclusive? Graham has no need to go in the Archdruid's hut when the
so I
man
can't
is
even get in there.
outside.
Because I was just thinking, I did a pretty bad job of checking it out. One thing I said something about Shadrach being stuck in the Zodiah Stone. I fact-checked that, and I was wrong. It was the other way around. It's the Silver Cloaks. By the way, I think it's synonymous. I believe that the Silver Cloaks are the zodiac symbols. I think they are synonymous.
The fire has gone out, leaving neither traces of the dimmest
so that was a
light
mistake.
nor the remembrances of a guiding
Now, like I
light.
said, I just started writing about this theory so I could explain it, but I just wrote an entire paper on this, or I just filled up an entire piece of paper with this. So instead of saying everything, I'm just gonna make a few bullet points. Now, if the Ranger isn't Manannan, I do realize that there's some sort of cross-reference between both of them, and they both have some sort of key to Valanice. They both refer to Valanice with a lot of information. So, wow, is there really nothing to do here unless I talk to him? Alright, well, on my way. So even if they aren't the same person, I think they have the same kind of goal. Now, in that last cutscene, the very last cutscene in Chapter 3, where you see Valanice and Manannan in the carriage, Manannan, it's supposed to be assumed that Manannan is a Black Cloak, but he never actually says this. In fact, if you really look at it, you can see that the writers were sort of vague on that. They didn't specifically say he was working for the Black Cloaks. He did say that Shadrach was in his mind, but never says that he is a Black Cloak. So, that was one of my bullet points. Also, there's been way too much information about the bad treatment of... I'm going to go to the Isle of Sacred Mountain because I think I know some waypoints, so I'm going to talk while I go there. Yeah, Edgar talks about the whipping. Who also talked? Oh yeah, Cosima was talking about how troubled Alexander is, and I think that this is going to pay off. And speaking of paying off, you can't. The Ranger hides his face, which in movie and video game logic usually means that we would recognize the face if we were to see it. So, I think it's someone that we know, someone who is magical. We know that he's magical.
Ready to sail?
Yep. I'm just going to glide over to you, though, I suppose. So there's a lot of talk about how bad Alexander has it, and I think that there's going to be some sort of redemption for Manannan. There has to be a low point about Alexander, and then to make the story interesting, Manannan gets a little bit of redemption. I'm going to go to the Isle of Sacred Mountain, specifically because I think I see a pattern. Actually, I'll talk about it on the map. So, I know that no matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to get past the gate until I can fly. So here's what I think from what I know so far. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to find the cloth that I need for the balloon on here. When I do that, I'll be able to get here on the balloon, get the winged shoes here, go over back to the Sacred Mountain, and that's where I'm going to find the White King. And that's going to give me the evening glory. So, also, okay, had to make sure. So anyway, that's why I'm gonna go here. Now the big another big thing is that when you look back on that last scene in episode 3 with Shadrach and Manannan, the interaction seems to come off as a the Emperor and Darth Vader. You know, it seems that if Manannan isn't kind of taking on Darth Vader sort of persona, I do think that he's working as a covert agent, or whatever you would say. Well, nothing.
The guards ignore Graham in every way possible, and even when he knows they deserve the same treatment, the king's manners are too sophisticated to not acknowledge their presence and importance of duty.
So where was I going with that?
The guards ignore Graham in every way possible, and even when he knows they deserve the same treatment, the king's manners are too sophisticated to not acknowledge their presence
some sort of redemption. He's not exactly as bad as you would think, you know. Hagatha is just pure evil, but there's a lot mentioned about Manannan, and I don't think that the writers would do that unless there was some sort of payoff. What's the last thing? Oh yeah, like I sort of referred to first, even if they aren't the same person, I know that Valanice is definitely a large part of the story, which is making me think that Rosella is not going to be the playable character. I believe that it'll be Valanice, because when I was writing my things and doing my arrows, the Ranger and Manannan both went down to the same point, that Valanice is the key to everything, and I think that's the key they're referring to in the title. So I think Valanice has a lot more importance than we know so far. In fact, actually, this is why I stopped do the writing, because I got to the point where I thought Valanice was the reason that the Zodiac Diastone was broken was because Valanice is actually a Zodiac sign, fell in love with Graham. Because that she left, the Zodiac Stone is weakened. That's why Shadrach is out. So that would imply that Valanice is not human, which is kind of I doubt it, because she has children. I mean, you know, that would be a little awkward. So let's see. I'm gonna feel really silly if he isn't even here yet. So let's see what we got here. Little lag. So yeah, here we go. Well, I'm hearing music.
He's growing more powerful, Graham.
Okay.
You again. You have a lot of explaining.
Wait, I don't see you.
What's happening to my wife?
What makes you think I know?
Last time we met, you said my family had a role to play in this, and now Valanice is acting not at all like herself. Give me a straight answer.
Soon you will have to accept the power of the Silver Cloaks as your own, Graham.
So he has to accept.
But before that happens,
the Zodiac.
You must learn what has come before.
What happened before? Oh yeah, also he has Druid magic, by the way, which Manannan would if Valanice...
Take the story with you on your scroll.
Valanice,
read it.
Was a druid.
It should help you understand what's happening to your queen.
Why are you helping me?
Who says I am?
Yeah, I don't think he's helping Graham. He's trying to help Valanice.
That's a good question. Now, what did he do to my scroll?
I don't know. Oh, I guess we're gonna have a cutscene telling me what happened. Oh, I thought my game shut off.
Over 1,000 years ago, the world was filled with magic and light, and all creatures lived together in harmony. While the sun was in the sky, they lived happy and unafraid. And when the moon rose and the sun went down, they slept peacefully, their dreams as joyful as their daily lives, thanks to the magic of the paladins of the Silver Cloak Society.
Okay.
The The Silver Cloaks had long been custodians of peace in the world, using their great power benevolently, protecting the people from whatever might threaten their lives, though few things ever did. They were loved and revered everywhere in the world. Everywhere, that is, except for one place, a dark corner, hidden from the light and the eyes of the Silver Cloaks. A group of power-hungry wizards gathered. They were envious of what the paladins had and wanted it for themselves. It was with this singular goal in mind that the Black Cloak Society was founded. What the Black Cloaks lacked in power in those early days, they made up for in ambition. They experimented with the magic that they did have and learned to twist it into something dark and evil. The more they used this magic, the more powerful they became, and the more their own evil infected them through its use. When they had grown strong enough, they began to attack the innocent and helpless.
Yeah,
and
shadows.
word of their evil deeds soon reached the Silver Cloaks.
Okay.
And so the war began.
And I guess they lost, and now they're stuck in
Lands
Zedai
were
Stone.
ravaged, and lives were lost as it raged on and on. The clashing of the magical societies and their powerful spells brought ruin everywhere. The Silver Cloaks did what they could to heal the damage, but the Black Cloaks were relentless, attacking any time they saw an opening. And so the war seemed unending. Locked in a stalemate, each side sought the means to secure victory. But it was the Black Cloaks who found it first. The Triumvirate who led the Black Cloaks, their most powerful wizards who had sacrificed almost all of their humanity for power and long life, set the sum of their magic to the most daring and dangerous task. They stole from the Fates an artifact of immense power. With this
deceptively simple box. Okay, sorry,
they
I got
increased
a
the
pop
power
up
of the Black
in the
Cloaks,
middle of this
but
cutscene, so
when
I
they
have to
placed
split.
an
Anyway, let's go.
emblem of evil within it, they were able to begin undoing the good that the Silver Cloaks had done.
Sorry, I had a
At first, it was
pop
their
up which
spells, the work
get me
they
out of
had
the
done
game,
repairing the land,
so I'm cutting this,
but it grew to
or
be more than that.
cutting back into this.
The good dreams they would create turned into nightmares.
Okay, yeah, they made the
The
shadows.
people they had healed and helped went back to being wounded and bereft. It was only a matter of time until the Silver Cloaks themselves would begin to disappear.
Okay.
The Black Cloaks grew more twisted as their evil spread, turning into wicked, shadowy creatures of darkness as they terrorized the world. All would have been lost for the Silver Cloaks and for the entire world if it were not for the actions of one brave woman.
Is it
Her name was Pandora.
Valany's Pandora?
Pandora was the daughter of a Black Cloak.
Oh,
She had grown up in their world, used their
Oh,
magic,
man.
and learned their ways. When the Triumvirate stole from the Fates, she had thought the move to be brilliant and daring. But as she began to watch the good of the world undo itself before her very eyes, she came to realize that the Black Cloaks, her family, her own father, were evil people, and the things they were doing to the world were wrong. in
sorry, I've
every
got
way.
chills right now. Wow.
So Pandora
She-
chose hope over despair, stole the box, and ran to the Silver Cloaks with it. They were
And
naturally
that was
suspicious that this was
that
a
was the
trick,
treason
but when they saw
that Manannan
she
was
had
talking
brought them,
about.
they realized she could be trusted. The Silver Cloaks opened the box, and all of the things it had undone were released and went back to the way they had been before. Then they placed an emblem of hope within it and turned the Black Cloak's trick against them. The woman who had once been a Black Cloak lured her former allies to the battle, then opened the box, and the twisted, shadowy demons were pulled inside and trapped there as she slammed it shut. Pandora did more than just close the box. While it was too powerful for her to simply seal forever, she did place an enchantment on it to make it nearly impossible to ever open again. Pandora's spell was such that only a rare person like herself, a Black Cloak with good intentions, could ever open the box again. With the Black Cloaks as twisted as they were, and their society in shambles,
And
it
I
was
guess
as
they
certain
wiped
a seal
her
as
memory.
anything could be. And thus Pandora did not open the box, but closed it in every way possible.
Huh. So sorry, I've got chills. I guess I was right. Valanice really is the key behind everything. Good to know. Wait, Dryad?
Who goes there?
Good day.
Take one of my fruits.
Okay. Oh, fruits.
Helps the memory. It stores it.
The spell ingredient. So they're just gonna give it to me? Oh. Wait, do I just have to get it? Well, that was easy enough. Is this really the flute? Or the flute? The Oh, I get it. The richest.
Graham keeps this gem with
Oh, this is a
care,
gem.
as it was given to him by Mother Nature's spirit herself, and it's said to be able to keep memories stored within.
I said to take her fruit. Which I suppose is the richest fruit in the land because this is the richest tree in the world. So that makes sense, but can't find it.
It's the first time Graham has laid eyes on a tree that grows. Could it be?
This is old.
One of the.
Yeah, the crescent moon crap. Okay, or it's not crap, I'm just trying to find out what she was talking about.
Blazes.
Yeah.
It's extreme.
This stone looks very similar to the stones in the sacred circle.
Also,
They must be made from the same kind of rock.
she's a
There's an
druid
inscription on this
and
one.
Pandora?
Graham places one of his hands on the tree, and he feels a strange energy running through his body, to the point of numbing his fingers. He retreats in both wonder and fear. There is great power here indeed.
Well, maybe I haven't looked at this enough.
Graham keeps this gem with care, as it was given to him by Mother Nature's spirit herself, and it's said.
Oh, I
to
get
be
it. I
able
have to give
keep
this to
memories
Valanice.
stored within.
And that'll restore her memories? Maybe. And if I do that, I'm not going to be doing that in this episode, certainly.
That is not going to
So,
work.
because of the stupid split, I have no idea how long this is, again, even with the timer, so I think I'm going to end it here. I'm going to have to spend some time editing to even make the thing work. But that's my problem, not yours. Now, so I'm not as mind-boggled because I did do my research, so I wasn't too surprised that Valanice had a bigger role to play, but I think in the next episode I'm gonna go to the Castle of the Crown, talk to Valanice, because one other thing I noticed is that there was a book where Jalo normally is, and I realized I didn't interact with it, so I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna stop here. So that'll be the end of this. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that my Manannan / Ranger theory wasn't too silly, but that's the way I think right now. And so, rate and subscribe, and very happy to see you in the next episode.